Let's take a look at number 2. So in problem number 2, I'm going to try to do my best to draw a picture of this. Let's start with, if this is 90 degrees, 42 is just slightly below 45, so we're going to call this angle C, and we know that across from that is 7, and let's call this A, and let's call this B. Across from A is 3.5. So just keep in mind here that we know this is 42 degrees and across from it is 7. And across from A is 3.5. That means angle A has to be significantly smaller than angle C. Keep that in mind. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at this to decide, should I use law of sines? You're going to use law of sines whenever you're provided with an angle-angle-side, an angle-side-angle, or a side-side angle. And remember, with side-side angle, like this, watch. Side-side angle, side-side angle. Whenever you have a side-side angle, you have 3 options. You may get an option in which you actually doesn't produce any triangle, or if a triangle exists, there either can be 1 or 2 unique ones. Let's get started and see what we have. So I'm going to use opposite of this. So I have the sine of 42 degrees over 7 equals the sine of 3.5. Oh, excuse me. The sine of A over 3.5. So the sine of angle A over 3.5. Sorry for the messiness. We have 3.5 times the sine of 42 degrees is equal to 7 times the sine of A. Then I divide by 7. I'm going to grab my calculator and make sure that I'm in degrees. And I have 3.5 times the sine of 42 and divide it by 7. Okay, what does this tell me? It tells me that I can eliminate the option of no triangle because sine has to be between +1 to -1. Think about a unit circle. The sine goes up as high as +1 and down as low as -1. And so this is between -1 to +1. That means a triangle exists. There may be 1 or they may be 2. That's what we're going to figure out next. So I'm going to do second sine, which is like arc sine, and I'm going to copy and paste this previous answer in. And now I'm going to say A, B, and C. I already know C is exactly 42 degrees. I'm going to have to round here, but angle A is approximately 19.55 degrees. Then we have A, B, and C. Those are our sides. Now we can figure out this missing B by taking this amount plus 42 and subtracting it from 180 because I know the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180. So this is approximately 118.45. Okay, across from A is exactly 3.5. Across from C is exactly 7. We cannot use a Pythagorean theorem to find that missing side because it's not a right triangle. I don't want to use an angle on a side, a corresponding side, that is rounded. So I'm going to say the sine of 42 over 7 equals the sine of B, which is 118.45 over angle B. So when I would have this, I'd have B times the sine of 42 equals 7 times the sine of 118.45. I'm going to divide by the sine of 42. And now we'll figure out what B is. 7 times the sine of 118.45. And we're going to divide that by the sine of 42. I got to make sure here I was being messy, of 42. Okay, so we have approximately 19 point, and that would round to we have approximately 9.20. This is one triangle. Well, how do we know if there's a second triangle? So this is the first angle that I computed. And using sine, I came up with a reference angle of 19.55. So where else could I get a sine that would be the exact same answer? Sines are positive in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. So I want to know, what is this angle? Well, I can take 180 and I'm going to subtract 19.55. 180 subtract 19.55. Okay, so this is 160.45. So let me make this next triangle. So right now I'm testing to see, is there a second triangle? I know for sure there's one. So I have A, B, and C, and sides A, side B, and side C. We know for sure this is 42 degrees. And right now I have 160.45. I know this is 7, and I know this is 3.5. Okay, why is there problems? Well, I already know for a couple reasons that this isn't going to work out. One, look at these two. This says because length C is longer than length A, that angle C has to be larger than angle A. That's not the case. So that already tells me that doesn't work for a triangle. I could already say, oh, there's not going to be a second triangle. The other way you could do that is that if we add up 160.45 plus 42, and if I get that amount and I subtract from 180, we'll figure out B. But look it, the amount is already over 180, so we can't even have a measurement for angle B. Another reason why this won't work. So there's only one triangle, and here's the given information.